What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live recording of the Post Podium podcast. I don't know why I sound so excited. This whole show is about to be a mess.
Because we're alive, man. We're alive. I don't know how. I don't know how I made it through the beginning part of this day. Man, I give hats off to Jeremy White and Howard Simon and all those guys that get up at 4 o'clock in the morning after watching the game once or twice, taking notes. I'm beaten down, brother.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm beaten down, but it's not just that game, and I'll tell you why else I'm beaten down after we get into it.
All right, well, let's
wait. Just the home of the all truth.
I was about to get to that.
Okay.
I was about to say we got to do the introduction.
Yeah. Okay. We forgot last time.
As always, you are now tuned to the home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
This is Key.
That's probably the most excited he's gonna be this whole entire time.
I'm about to be excited. Well, you know what? Full disclosure. Let me tell you how my weekend went. For the ones of you that know me very well, you know I'm a big UB fan.
Yeah.
So I sat in the pouring rain next to my uncle to watch two quarterbacks for UB.
Okay.
Combined for 97 yards passing.
Yikes.
On 9 of 29. The other team, they won. They didn't throw for over 100 yards passing. It was the same kind of game as last night where you're like, how are you not in this game? How? Why is this game still going on? And then fast forward to last night, we waited all day to fanfare that we were pumped. I had Ken ready. I had everything set to watch this mollywhopping. The mollywhopping that just wasn't. So now let's take it away. Let's talk about what we wanted to talk about. I had to get it off my nipples.
Okay. I know, right? Nobody wants to hear about what's on Key's nipples.
I'm sure somebody somewhere does. I don't know.
Probably a lot of hair or stuff.
Maybe somewhere.
Maybe you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It sets you up for the question since what, but I don't even want to know that, so I'm not even going to ask the question.
It's a dark rabbit hole to go down. But anyway, let's talk about these Bills.
Right. So I want to make an amendment to a stat that I gave last Thursday when I was talking about Sean McDermott's record versus quarterbacks with a record of 500 or better.
Okay, I can't wait.
And then I have a rant I need to get out real quick.
You gotta get something off your nipples.
I gotta get something off my
chest.
Testicles.
It's all the same.
Yeah, I'll take testicles. I got to get something off my testicles. You're right. Get something off my balls. I'm okay with that. We can rock with that.
This is going to be a great show.
Yeah, it is. So, what? Why is this? Oh, this is supposed to be up there. Okay. I talked about how Sean McDermott's record against quarterbacks with a win percentage of 500 or better is under 500, meaning that he's not great against good quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I even gave a stat about his win percentage versus elite quarterbacks.
You did.
I brought this stat up to my spiritual dad, and he asked me a pretty good question. He said, well, why isn't that the same case for every head coach in the league being bad against elite quarterbacks? Which is a good point. But I don't even think that was the focus of that stat when I came up with it. Mm-hmm. And I had to think about it for a second, because I knew when I was creating that stat, I was trying to get to a definitive nail in the coffin point that solidified my stance on not just Sean McDermott as a coach, but what he stands for, right? And here's the point I came to. Sean McDermott is one of, 5 defensive head coaches in the league right now. Is that right? You got Pittsburgh, You got
New England.
Houston, New England.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills, obviously, that's 4.
Right.
And then you got who else?
Washington.
Dan Morgan is an offensive guy.
What about Washington?
Washington's a defensive guy. That's 5. And then that's it. Zimmer's out of Minnesota. The Chargers got a defensive head coach.
Yeah,
Staley. Who else? Everybody else is offensive. Offensive or special teams or positional. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's positional.
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Your point is taken.
Right. So we'll say one of 7 for all intents and purposes. Right. He's one of 7 defensive head coaches in the league right now. Only one of those defensive head coaches have a Super Bowl right now. One.
I wonder who that is.
Bill Belichick, obviously.
Right.
But he happened to have the greatest quarterback of all time on his team. So it's not even like you got to give Bill credit, but it's not even like you can say that Belichick was the reason that Brady was so good. For, I would say, the first Super Bowl, maybe the second, Belichick's defense in that day and age was just so lights out. It didn't matter what anybody did. On top of the fact that they were recording people's practices and getting away with it probably. But the point is this. There are always going to be elite quarterbacks in this league. And we've seen now from the Bengals and from the Jaguars that in order to consistently pose a threat to a team like the Chiefs, who sit at the top of the NFL, you have to be able to win a shootout with those teams, right? You look at the divisional game that we had, the 13 seconds game. That wasn't a knockdown, drag-out defensive game, low scoring. That was a shootout to the core.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a game we should have won. Right?
Agree.
That is the only game that we've played against the Chiefs that you can say, in the playoffs, I mean, that we should have won. Right? Now, Sean McDermott and Josh Allen that year, the year of 13 seconds, had the blessed benefit of having Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator, who we've seen since last night is an offensive guru.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The point of that stat is, and the point that I'm trying to make is this. If you truly want Josh Allen to go to the next level of being the best quarterback in the league, far above and beyond all that Mahomes could ask or think, you need a guy like Ben Johnson, who's been operating that Detroit Lions offense with perfection, to come in here, take the reins, and put Josh in a position to just dominate the league. He damn near did it when he had Daboll here.
Oh yeah.
Imagine what he could do with an offensive head coach who knows how to build an offensive line, who knows how to put players in the right place, and is going to focus on the side of the ball that the entire league is starting to focus on. Right? So I just think it is by far the nail in the coffin, the final indictment. It is the final thread, shred, whatever you want to call it, of evidence and proof that as long as Sean McDermott is here, the percentages, the odds, everything that you can bet on are going to be heavily in the favor of us not winning a Super Bowl. Not even coming close. If you look at the way that he's trying to win games now, in that game that we saw last night, I texted this to you.
I don't even know what that game was, man. I mean, that was an anomaly in it. So I have no idea what I witnessed last night. No, it wasn't because I had too many of what Steve Tasker calls pops. No, it wasn't because I was sleepy. No, it was none of the above. Right. What that was last night was, well, you know what? Hey, you should have been impressed. What did you say? You will not feel good about that game unless they allow less than 10 points.
Oh.
Ta-da! Ta-da! What you neglected to say was we were only going to score 14.
I was standing with my legs wide open, and you kicked me where you were supposed to. Thank you for that.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
And somebody there was like, hey, you heard him. I did it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, point notwithstanding, I mean that was last night. That was. I don't even. You know what? I don't even know where I stand with yesterday because for some reason, even though we were shut out, even though I was pissing and moaning, I just felt like we weren't going to lose that game.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was that to that level where it was
hard to really believe like we might lose this game. Like it just knowing how they've played and knowing that Josh really wasn't doing any Josh Allen type of stuff in the first half. We saw it in the second half. Josh just took the game. He didn't. I can't say he took the game over because they only scored 2 touchdowns, but he did what he had to do when it was time.
Yeah, I think they. What it is, I think that they decided to be a poor man's version of themselves, right. And the Giants decided to show up for who they really are.
Yeah,
I mean that's really what like we talked about on what is this? I mean today's Monday, so it would have been the Friday show. Outside of how you say the man's name. Okereke. I mean, he was lights out.
Oh yeah.
Outside of that, Dexter Lawrence was nowhere to be seen. And if you notice when they did their introductions, nobody was in the top 25 in Pro Football Focus rankings. Not one of them.
They had it was. I'll put it like this: their play on defense was more about the scheme and the defensive 11 playing as a unit, right? There were instances where Dexter Lawrence got penetration. There were instances where McKinney made a good play. Their corner Flott was really good in the slot last night, and they got decent play from their corners. I mean, obviously nobody could check Steph Diggs. Nobody in the league can check Steph Diggs.
I mean, this is my thing. The indictment for me, and this we'll get into this further later because I know you had some more ranting you want to get off your
yeah.
off your body. I'll just say off your orifices or whatever. So I'll let you do that. Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the dang thing.
Okay, all right. So I had another point that I wanted to get to, and I had to write this one down after really thinking about this game. There is a philosophy in sports that is probably the most unfair, but the most true. And that is moral victories don't count when you're bad, but moral losses count when you're good. Make sense?
Sure.
I'll explain. When you're a bad team and you play well, the mindset can't be, we gave ourselves a chance or we almost had him though, right? Nobody wants to make those kind of excuses. We actually did during the drought. Whenever we played the Patriots close, oh man, we were right there. That's all we had.
Made me sick.
We're a bad team, right? But when you're a great team and you play like the Bills played last night, you underperformed. You underperformed. That's a moral loss. That is the difference between what good teams say or how good teams think. Good teams are trying, if they're really trying to be good, they're not making excuses. They're not trying to find ways to take good things out of that game. They're saying, no, we just need to be better, point blank, period. Right? You could see on Josh Allen's face last night that this game was a moral loss. He knew it. He knew it.
Josh.
He knew he should have made that pass at the end of the game. That was really him trying to just put some touch on it to make sure that his brick-handed tight end had the best possible opportunity to catch the ball. Because
which is ridiculous in itself. I mean, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but everything he did with that was wrong. I mean, he said again the ball was loose in his hands again.
He caught it. He had his hand. Knox had his hands on it.
No. Josh said the ball came loose in his hands.
No, I don't care. Listen, the ball made it there. Knox had an opportunity to make the play on the ball. Knox had 2 hands on the ball and couldn't secure it, which is typically what you end up saying whenever Knox plays a football game.
Well, I mean, I guess. He's been better over years. Year over year, he's gotten better. But it's just flawed. It's just so flawed. Just all in all. I mean, from the Rudy to the Tootie, it was bad. It really was. I mean, you figure you got Knox. Why you throw it low? Why is he running full speed? He's got. This is not a play that he makes. That's not a play that he's gonna make. He got two hands on the ball. Yeah, you're supposed to catch it. Blah blah blah. But he didn't.
Right.
And the point is, you play with this guy long enough to know. You know what he likes. You know what he can catch, what he can't do. And you just did the Isaiah McKenzie thing again.
Well, I want to challenge that thought because this is I'm hoping this doesn't turn into the whole show.
It won't.
But
I promise it won't.
Are the Bills at this point, from what they've shown, capable of proper self-scouting? What I mean by that is, if you look at last night's game, that was an instance where you're going against one of the worst run defenses in the entire league. And you spend more time throwing the ball than you do punting.
Mm-hmm.
And they punted a lot because they were scoreless the whole first three quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then you flip over to the defensive side of the ball. You're blitzing Tyrod Taylor. You're giving Tyrod Taylor opportunities to scramble and get loose. You know exactly what teams do to Josh Allen in order to stop him and keep him in the pocket at the same time. Why are you not able to do that against probably the worst offensive line in the entire league?
It is the worst.
With the left tackle that is fresh off the couch, as he stated in the game.
It is the worst. It is the worst. But it's by numbers the worst offensive line out there.
Why are you not able to control that offensive line with your defensive line? That is supposed to be the strength of your defense right now. You don't have corners. I mean, it seems like at this point, and I don't believe this, but people are saying it now. I can't wait till Dane Jackson comes back. Oh, Elam was getting killed out there.
He really wasn't.
Right.
He really wasn't. I mean, I don't care how you want to slice it. Whatever you're looking at, whatever agenda you're trying to build, he really wasn't getting killed.
He gave up one play.
He had, what was his number? 6 receptions for 40 yards, 1 first down. That's what he gave up.
That's it. But we killing him. We trying to get rid of him.
To get rid of him.
Because he got, what, a holding call?
He got a holding call, and Taron Johnson got, well, never mind.
Yeah, Taron Johnson, that was probably the most savviest play, though. Like, they weren't going to call defensive pass interference twice in a row.
Why would you throw it? I don't even know why you threw it.
Well, they tried running it at the end of the first half.
I mean, well, that was. You see what
I missed that. I missed that fire.
Dumb. I missed that fire from Daboll kind of.
You didn't
guy.
see it?
What?
Daboll going after.
I missed that fire. I missed that fire in Buffalo. Dorsey not doing that.
Right.
McDermott ain't doing that. I don't care what they say he does in behind. Yeah. He ain't doing that.
Yeah,
because if you're not doing that in person in public,
right? You're
not doing it in private,
right? Right.
Because you worse in private than you are in person in public.
Yep.
So if you gonna give me the McClappy, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. And you can't tell me I don't care what the guy say. Yeah, no.
That's how I know you ain't happy. When you start coming up with silly names like that.
McClappy, man. That's hey. All I'm saying is, the game was there. I mean, they won. Whatever. It was an NFC matchup. It was a
We're
night
talking
game.
about it like it's a loss. I mean,
who's not? Like
true.
you said,
it's
a moral loss. So it's a loss, I guess. What are they going to win from this? And this is furthermore. You know what? Let me let you go back to your point because I'm going to start ranting in a minute, and you do your thing.
No. Listen, all I'm saying about the moral losses and moral victories is you have to understand that when you're a good team, the mindset cannot be, let's just be who we are. Let's just play like we play, and people will have to, they'll have to come to us. And what I've seen from Sean McDermott is a lot of that same type of arrogance. If you look at the way that the Bills played in the 3 wins against the Dolphins, the Raiders, and the Commanders, they've played the same way against the Jaguars and now the Giants, and it's not working anymore. it's one thing to catch two bad teams and one really bad defense off guard with very efficient play and very safe play when teams have known your quarterback to be very risky and risk-taking and YOLOing all over the football field. That's okay for 3 games. But you've got to be able to win multiple ways. And Sean McDermott has not shown a proficient level of self-scouting, a proficient level of understanding of offense, a proficient level of understanding of how to build a team that can win multiple ways. The way that he's built this team, salary cap wise, almost all of it, except for Steph Diggs and Josh Allen is all on defense. Right? Morse is off the books after this year. That was the 3rd biggest contract, maybe.
Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox at 14 mil.
Yeah, Dawson Knox and then Deion Dawkins' contract.
Actually, yeah, Deion Dawkins would be the third highest.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they've got 4 players on offense that have bigger contracts. Everybody else, all of the other money is on the defensive side.
Yeah.
So it's a situation where you're stuck hoping that he either the light comes on and he starts to humble himself and figure out that he's got to be better on the offensive side of the ball. He's got to start focusing more money on that side. He's got to start focusing more coaching on that side and getting the best out of that side of the ball. Or, and this is the other thing that Sean said too is that there's things that he's missing now because his head is down, focused on the defense.
That's one of my points I made on Friday. I mean, that you can't have that with a rookie offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
You can't. Well, I mean, yeah, okay, he's not a rookie; he's a 2nd-year guy, but
it's
honestly,
the
he's a rookie.
same thing because this is a new offensive scheme this year.
And check this out. I mean, I wanted to. I didn't want to cut you up, but I was really interested in where you're going with this that you had me build before the show.
Yep.
Did you know Josh Allen's first 13 passes last night, 11 of them went to Steph Diggs?
I did.
11 to Steph Diggs. 1 to Trent Sherfield and 1 to was it Dawson Knox? No, Gabe Davis.
Why don't you give us the stats? So I asked Keyshawn to check on Steph Diggs' target percentage against. Did you do all 5 or just the 3?
We're gonna see what I got. They're not in order.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So if you just want to talk about the target percentage for Steph Diggs versus the rest of the team for some of these games, I'm thinking it's at least 3, but we'll see.
Okay, so for the Washington game, Steph Diggs had 20% of the targets. 20%. 1/5.
Who was the next highest on the team?
On the team was Gabe Davis at 6.5. 6.5. So Steph Diggs targets.
That's triple.
Yep. 12 targets for Steph Diggs.
Jeez.
Gabe Davis 4. Moving on to Miami. I can just sort this. I mean, this is easy. Easy money. Steph Diggs had a day off. 11.5% of the targets against the Miami team. Next closest, Dalton Kincaid at 8. Steph Diggs had 7 targets. Dalton Kincaid had 5.
It's a very bad offense. They could pretty much throw it to whoever they wanted at that point.
The Jacksonville game. Stephon Diggs, 18%.
18%.
Next closest, Gabe Davis at 13. Dawson Knox at 9.
Man.
Last night, Steph Diggs, 26.2%. 26.2%, people. Next closest, Dawson Knox at 9.8. Almost 3 times again.
Why is Dawson Knox becoming the number 2 receiver? Like he's rivaling Gabe Davis.
But to your point is this. Well, he's blowing Gabe Davis out the water. I mean, this is your point. When you said about Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, what was your point? Reverse their roles?
Yep.
Why on God's green earth last night is David Edwards running the H-back?
What?
David Edwards was the move. You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Our backup guard was the move tight end last night. Dawson Knox was in line.
I mean, Kincaid was hurt. He was out.
Yeah, but why is your backup guard the move tight end when Dawson Knox can do it?
That's true. You still got Reggie Gilliam.
You still got Gilliam. You still have Quentin Morris.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem with David Edwards playing tight end in a pinch because we've shown that we like doing that with Bobby Hurt last year. Mm-hmm. But he's your move guy. Dawson Knox has proven that he's a good blocker. And regardless of what people say, he's more of a threat in the receiving game than David Edwards. This is the kick, too. David Edwards, they're going to tell you, David Edwards was a quarterback in high school. He went to college as a tight end. That's why they're using him there. No, David Edwards gained 60 pounds to play guard.
Right.
He's not the same guy he was as a freshman when he went to Wisconsin.
How much does he weigh now? He's over 300 pounds?
He's over 3. He's not 310 maybe.
Go ahead and run these tight end routes and possibly blow out your knee playing a position.
But that's the point. That's the point. You're not built to play tight end. Why are you? You can do it. UB did this, and this is funny. I asked my uncle. I said, it was a 4th and 1, 4th and a half a yard, whatever. I said, you see that? He's like, what? I said, they got 2 guards as fullbacks behind the quarterback. And you know the funny part about it was?
What?
They still didn't get the first down. They handed off to the running back and still didn't get the first down.
Yep.
The point is, it's not a given. Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
You got all these guys. Why are you running the 12? You're running the 12 so we can run now?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And if you look at the way that this offense is going now, if they don't establish a decent, it doesn't even have to be good. If they don't establish a decent run game and show that they can get 5 yards on a given play, their pass game suffers. They cannot, at this point in the season, they have not shown the ability to just drop back and pass. They need play action. Josh Allen's efficiency on play action is like tops in the league. He might be the best.
This is the kick too. Josh Allen under center, as you just said. Quarterback rating, sky high. Mm-hmm. Shotgun, not so much.
Yep.
Why are we still doing shotgun? Because Josh likes the shotgun?
Does he? Is that what he said?
Evidently.
Wow.
Josh is more comfortable out of a shotgun. But guess what? Dorsey versus Dable. Dorsey will say, okay, whatever you want, Josh.
Right. Dable
they will say, man, you see what he did to Tyrod? You see what he did to Tyrod?
Yeah.
And that's what he does to Josh. That's what he would do to Josh.
Tyrod ain't going to be the same after that game, boy.
I mean, watching Tyrod.
They probably gave him a potato party after that.
Watching Tyrod last night brought a smile to my face, though. Because I said, this is the mediocre quarterback in there everybody loves. This is no turnovers, no false steps, high efficiency,
could drop it in the bucket
yards.
On the deep pass.
Drop it in the bucket, 200 yards, scrambling around, not going nowhere. But this is the quarterback there Buffalo loves so much. Yeah. And this is the quarterback Buffalo still would love. They probably would love to have him. Not as a starter.
He was the perfect quarterback for a defensive-minded head coach that wanted to play safe and win with his defense.
You know what's the funny part about that is? That was, and the thought was, is he even going to be on the team with the changeover from Rex Ryan to McDermott? That was the thought. Is he even going to make the team?
Oh yeah.
But he made because we didn't get a quarterback. We had Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, but even with, like, if you just look at both quarterbacks, and look at Nathan Peterman, look at Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is, for all intents and purposes, a pocket quarterback with the ability to run. It's like he doesn't like to run. He wants to be a pocket passer. And defensive head coaches or head coaches that are better, I'll just say have won more with a defensive philosophy, i.e., is it John Harbaugh? No. What's the brother's name?
Jim.
No, it's John Harbaugh.
What are you talking about? He was special team defense,
yeah, because that's where the Ravens drafted Tyrod Taylor, right? So
he was like, he drafted as a backup though.
Right, but still, the mindset was this guy. The way they coached him when we first got Tyrod Taylor, they talked about the way that he was coached, and it very much was in Baltimore. Don't make mistakes. Take what they give you. Play efficient football. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Right. So you came over here. You started doing the same thing, and for the Giants in that offensive system, it worked against the Bills because the Bills are playing very aggressive. They were giving up a lot of stuff because we don't have the same horses that we had at the beginning of the season to be a dominant defense, right? And really, to be honest, Tyrod, he could have had a 300-yard game if that's what Daboll wanted. But Daboll was trying to win a game. Right?
They would have tried to get Tyrod to 300. I would have loved that even more. I would have been sitting there waiting all day for that nonsense. At 5.6 a clip, because that's how he was averaging a pass, 5.6 a completion. So
I'm sure there was more there. We both know Tyrod doesn't take the risky throws that are actually there. He's going to take the wide open underneath stuff.
Your man completed 36 passes for 200 yards. I mean, it was music to my ears. It was music to my ears. I was like, this your man? This your man?
Yeah.
But our man didn't look no better.
Exactly.
Our man gave 100 yards to Stephon Diggs. Fine, except the rest of the team got 69.
Exactly.
Our man Stephon Diggs got 10 receptions when the rest of the team got 9. How does that work?
That was the same. That's actually the point that I'm trying to make is that Sean is now trying to get Josh Allen to play like Tyrod Taylor was coached to play. And it's ruining Josh, right? If you look at the way that Josh plays when he's holding on to the ball and he's standing back there in the pocket and the pocket's closing up on him, he's not a step up into the pocket guy. He's not a manipulate the pocket guy. He's a get the heck out of there and make something happen guy. And you got to give him that ability to do that within the offense. The Bills were not moving the football in the first half.
I don't think Josh has the capacity to understand the middle ground. They're not what I feel like they're telling him is don't run when you don't have to. Make it the last resort. When Josh used to, take it back, look, then go. I think that he's missing a vital part here. You're a quarterback. You have to make the decision. Can you do something with the ball? Is it dangerous? How risky is it? What's the situation? How many yards can I get on foot? Right. I mean, case in point, your point isn't taken by the fact that my favorite play in the Pittsburgh game, the Pittsburgh preseason game, scrambled around, got out. Kincaid standing right in front of him for the first down and nothing more. Josh decides, I'm going to go back the other way around and take a sack.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He did it again. I forget what game it was, but he did it again. He looked at the receiver, could have made the throw. Decided, no, I'm going to throw. Oh, it was a Jets game. 1 interception. The guy was right in front of him wide open. He threw it deep for no reason.
Yep.
He could have ran for the first down. Think. And the thing is, and this is, I kept saying, maybe I had a couple too many pops last night because I kept saying, oh, Lord, don't let Stephon Diggs be in the same picture frame with Josh Allen talking to him. Don't let Steph be standing up in front of Josh Allen talking to him because I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
How much of a diva he is. What's he yelling at him now for? And then what Sean McDermott say in the press conference. 17's got to be smart. 17's got to be smart. In the press conference, Sean McDermott said it. I don't hear anybody else say anything about him. Sean McDermott was the one they forgot said, what do you say? Think smart or whatever they said in the Jets game. He was the other one nobody mentioned.
Yeah.
But this is my thing. Maybe it is McDermott. Maybe it's Dorsey. But I cannot believe, and I got to watch the All-22, I cannot believe that there's never anybody open besides Steph Diggs.
Oh, no, there's no way.
There is no freaking way. So where is our number 2 wide receiver? Where is our number 3 wide receiver? Why are we running this 12? What is this 12 about? You had John Brown.
It's about running the ball.
You had John Brown. You had Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, Dawson Knox, Stephon Diggs, 5 guys, productive guys. Gabe Davis was productive in that 10 they ran, in the 11 they ran.
But Gabe Davis is a great run blocker.
He's a great rim blocker. Not better than Trent Sherfield. But guess what? That's the only reason he's on the field, because he ain't catching nothing.
Yeah.
And they don't ask him to.
Right.
Catch it, drop it, whatever. I forgot. Sean McDermott pulls you when you make a mistake. No, he doesn't. He only does that with certain people.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that this philosophy of, because I think it's a philosophy, but do you think that this percentage of targets that Diggs is getting is by design in order to increase the efficiency of the offense and decrease the risk of turnover and stuff like that, so that the defense can be the reason that the team wins games?
I don't. You know what? I know you do. But me personally, I think 17 needs to utilize his resources. I think 17, like I said before, 11 of 13 is Stephon Diggs. Your first 11 of 13 of your 11 of your first 13 passes to one man. What is that? What is that?
What is something that Dayball used to do with Josh early in games that Dorsey really has only done once this season?
What you got?
He got Josh into rhythm on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
He gave him early rhythm throws. Beasley was notorious for being that guy.
Yeah.
Beasley would get open for 3 yards, then 5, then 7, then 5, then 6, then 9, and then after that it was over because Josh was locked in. He could just see right through the entire defense.
It's like in basketball when you see the ball go through the hoop.
Exactly.
You ready?
That's exactly
right. You see the ball go through the hoop, you ready?
That's exactly right.
Josh is a slow starter.
Yeah.
He's always been a slow starter. Whatever. And that's not an indictment on what you're saying. That's whatever.
Yep.
Because, like you said, you have to know how to get your star player in a rhythm. Because if your star player is not in a rhythm, he's not your star player. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your name is, what your number is, who you dating. I don't care what you make. You're garbage if you can't get going. You do nothing for me. You're a 6'5" and 238-pound decoy.
Oh yeah.
So what we have to do is we got to rely on a 30-year-old wide receiver who everybody in the league knows is all we got except Buffalo. That's all we got. Let that team lose Stephon Diggs. Let that team. I'm telling you right now, Josh Allen had to be evaluated for a concussion. How's Kyle Allen look to you?
And a shoulder injury.
How's Kyle Allen look to you?
I mean, he handed the ball off pretty good.
It was nice. He didn't fall.
Yeah. He got the ball to the running back.
He did.
Looked fairly smooth.
It went. Now they didn't let him throw. They're not going to let him throw. Josh ran in there and ran right the freak back out.
And it was funny that they brought this up. I don't know why they did it, but it was to me, it was like it just made the situation worse. They said the Bills are Kyle Allen's third team in 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, you can't even stick on a team longer than a year.
Oh.
But the Bills wanted you?
Yep. No. Josh wanted you.
Exactly.
Josh wanted you.
Exactly. And who's allowing him to do that?
McClappy.
Thank
you for calling that.
The Sabres. They have a head coach by the name of Don Granato, right? What is Don Granato's claim to fame?
Coaching young players up.
Where was he before he was the head coach of the Sabres?
Before he was a head coach?
Yeah.
He was a coach. He was a assistant coach.
He was before that he was the coach of the Amerks.
Yeah.
And
he got called up from there, and then
he got called up from there, and I think he was interim, and then they made him full time. And
when they got rid of Housley,
boy, that team is shutting people out, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah. And the thing is, even when they're, you can see a difference. You can see a huge difference in the Sabres, the speed. You can see a difference in the tenacity, the aggressiveness.
Oh yeah.
But this here.
So
this here.
This Buffalo Bills franchise, they see the Sabres and their people there, who Pugula is probably a little more involved with the Sabres than he is the Bills, but they did an excellent job finding a coach that could build a team the right way through the draft.
Ooh, the right way. I like you using that. That's the motto there.
Oh yeah,
the right way.
The right way. You build them up through the draft, right? They were bad, but they were able to capitalize on being bad because of the head coach. Now they got a young nucleus that's built to just, like they in another year or so, maybe if they make another couple of good moves, they're going to be destroying the NHL.
Yeah.
Right? What happened here with the Bills?
Can I say it?
Yes.
This might not be your answer, but this is my answer. This is my truth. They bought old talent. Right. They bought old talent. They just keep paying out the butt for old talent. And the worst part about this, and I'm going to rant here, if I'm allowed.
Go.
That's what's up. The worst part about this is not only do you buy old talent, you compensate them for years on end. Then when you can't figure out how to put the money under the cap, you restructure them for more years on end. So I got to watch this forever? Forever. Dude, case in point. I'm going to go back to this, and this is where people are going to turn me off. Von Miller. Mr. Miller. What's Leonard Floyd doing?
Getting sacks.
Leonard Floyd is doing what Von Miller was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd is making a fraction of what Von Miller made.
He's making less than 1% of what
He's making less than 1%. He almost has as many sacks as Von Miller had last year.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Von had, 8.5? And he's already at 6.5.
Yep. With one leg.
One leg. Let that sizzle in your spirit, as Country Wayne would say. So, okay, let's move on. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Norman didn't cost, but why'd you bring a 36-year-old cornerback back? He had nothing else to do? Nobody wanted him.
Apparently not.
So he's on our practice squad, which people think that there's no way he's going to get called up. Newsflash, people, we're not trading for a cornerback.
Oh, no.
Our cornerback is on this team. You better pray to God Kyrie Luke stays with the flow. You better pray to God, because Josh Norman will be your starting cornerback before you know it.
Wow, you saying it right here and right now?
Saying it. Unless Kyrie Elam steps it up and impresses somebody, Josh Norman will be on that field.
You don't think Dane Jackson's got a chance?
I think Josh Norman will. I think one or two things are going to happen. They like Josh Norman. They have loyalty to Josh Norman.
True.
Benford has a history of injuries. Dane Jackson has a history of injuries.
Yeah.
So what they're going to do
they're
is...
They're both essentially the same corner, though.
Right. What they're going to do is they're going to let them play. So one gets hurt. And it's going to be one of those song and dances about he just couldn't get his spot back. He just wasn't doing enough in practice. You got to see a little more out of him in practice.
That's tough. But
that's the MO. Am I lying? That's how they work.
36 years old. Can he still run?
I have not seen this man. McDermott said they signed him they didn't work him out. He said when they asked him about when they signed Josh, he said, I haven't even seen him outside of his street clothes yet. What'd that tell you? Nepotism.
Exactly. You're buying a 36-year-old man off the street, and you're going to give him time to get into football shape on your practice squad. You're paying him to work out at this point.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
That's all you're doing.
Paying him to work out and learn your plays.
Mm-hmm. He'll elevate. He'll compete.
Deshaun Watson was out of football for 1 year and played in, 6 games last year?
It was 2, wasn't it? Because he sat out Houston and he got suspended.
Okay, so he played more than just 2 games last year. He was suspended for 10 games.
Oh, you're talking about, okay. I'm thinking about the sat out. He sat out, then he got, okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so he played for 6 games last year and 4 games this year, and still hasn't looked like the same Deshaun Watson that we remember from Houston. Now he over the last 2 games, maybe 3 games, he started to get there before he got hurt, but it takes a while, and you want this man who you haven't seen outside of street clothes to come in, get into football shape, learn your plays, and then go out and play an NFL game. After being out of the league for, a year?
A year, yeah. Yeah, so that surmise. I mean, come on now. Come on.
Should we even be surprised at this point?
No.
Should we even
I'm laying
waste the breath? Because
I'm laying it out. Jordan Phillips. Shaq Lawson is different. Shaq Lawson, when they put him in, he makes plays. You know, whether it's on the box score or not. Last night he stuffed that third down.
Right.
Shaq Lawson's always running stuff in something. He's always pressuring the quarterback. He's playing his ball, and he's a league minimum.
I will say this: before Jordan Phillips left, he had 9 sacks in the season.
Yeah, he played Miami twice, and he hated their guts. But no. I mean, honestly, you got to think about it. Yeah, you're right. He made his money in Buffalo. He left, went to Arizona. Yeah. Flamed out, did nothing at all.
True.
Came back. We welcomed him with open arms.
Yep.
He brought his buddy Shaq. Luckily, Shaq said, you know what?
He's out of position. Again, this is another thing, and you've stated this already before. They have him playing the 1. He's not a 1. He's not a 1 tech.
No, I don't care. See, that's the thing. People, you on mad, he's 350 pounds. Boom, 1 tech. No. It's a skill set thing.
Exactly.
Daquan Jones is only, 305, 310, but he's a 1 tech.
Right.
Explain it.
Skill set.
Skill set.
You just said it.
AJ Klein. Back again. Tyler Medikevich, what's he still here for?
Right. You paying him, what, $5-6 million?
Yeah. He's a captain. I saw something that said the Giants cut Tywan Jones. Is he on his way back to Buffalo?
He might be.
I lied to you not. I saw this article.
To return kicks. Get a look at that. Get a look at that face. Get a look at that face. Yes. Yes. Yes.
To return kicks. That's very good. Very good.
I mean, they had to fill the Naeem Hines role somehow, you know?
Yeah. Which brings me to another one. Deontay Hardy.
Yep.
Is that not Naeem Hines' role?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
One problem. He ain't Naeem Hines fast.
No.
You want to tell us he was, but he's not.
Nope.
He's not Naeem Hines shifty. He's not Naeem Hines versatile. None of this Naeem Hines stuff. They're just short. And they came from somewhere else. Both of them.
And they're probably going to re-sign Naeem Hines next year after he's done getting his surgery and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, if they re-sign him after
going to a court battle
for my money, I want my money, man. I want my money. I can see it right now. He's like that scene with Stewie.
Yeah.
When he tried to get the money from Brian.
My money?
This is good orange juice.
Boom! Just lit him up. Where's my money, man?
I want
Where's my money?
No, this is my kick. Like you said, and guys, I told you I was gonna rant. I promised you I was gonna rant. So you can't hold it against me. You could have went and got your juice. You could have went to the bathroom. You could have came back. My point is, like you said.
Uh-huh.
I forgot what coach even said, but they Don Granato drafted. They signed players that can still play, but show players how to play.
Yep.
I don't want to hear about Kyle Allen. I don't want to hear about Matt Barkley. I don't care about making our $258 million quarterback comfortable. At this point, at 6 years in, you're supposed to be making somebody else comfortable.
Right.
You should be making Justin Shorter's life easier.
Yep.
Dalton Kincaid, who's averaging, 2 catches a game?
Yep.
What is that crap?
What did you spend all those
capital
to get
for?
Yeah.
The second time in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is you don't have another tight end like you had cornerbacks like Kyrie Elam has to sit on the bench.
Right.
And please tell me, what did he do so wrong? What did Kyrie Elam do so wrong to anybody to state that, yo?
You know what I really think it is? You know what I really, really deep down think it is? Kyrie Elam is not one of those all shucks humble type of dudes. He gonna play you hard and he gonna let you know, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm in your face all day long. Do something about it. That's the type of player he is, right? And as much as we want to say, oh, it's his play on the field, it's his understanding of the defense, is this, is that, the numbers say he's still one of the best corners on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you asking the guy, if you look at how they play him, he's bailing.
Right.
He's not a bail cornerback.
Exactly.
It's not his dig. He's going to get beat. We know this.
The focus with him from day one should have been, how can we get him acclimated to a zone system that allows him to use his man skill set to be efficient. That's it. You don't take a man corner and try to switch him all the way to a zone corner, and when he can't do that, then you look at him like it's something wrong with him.
No, you suck.
Right.
No, you don't. We knew he was a project.
Exactly. You knew what he couldn't do when you picked him.
You knew it.
And now that you're not
getting
zone
was something you knew he couldn't do.
Exactly. The
very thing you vilify him for.
You know what the Sabres did? They went and got Tuck.
Yep.
It's a first-round pick. Wasn't doing nothing with the team that he was playing for. They were looking at him like we looking at Elam. Sabres went and traded for him, put him around a head coach that knew what to do with him, knew how to build him up, knew how to put him in the right position. He's the star of the team now.
Oh, you talking about Tage?
I'm sorry.
No, Tuck is on the team, but no, Tuck is good. That's why I let it go, because I knew I thought you were talking about Tuck, and then when you said he's a star player, I'm like, talking about Tage, 6'7" Tage. But this is the kick. And bear with me, people. You have to see through the BS. You got to see through the mismanagement of resources. I'm not talking about money anymore. I'm talking about the nepotism. I'm talking about this false narrative that you have to earn it. Yep. Earn what? I mean, come on now. Earn what? What are they earning? Half the guys on defense are playing because there's nobody else to play. You got what they call him, T-Dot, Terrell Dotson, and Dorian Williams had 10 tackles last night because they got nothing else.
Right.
Christian Kersey could have been on the team, but you screwed him over somehow. Yeah. I don't care what they say. Oh, I respect it. No, you pissed him off somehow.
Yep. That's the only reason you retire on a team.
Yep.
Otherwise, you just say, can you release me so I can go somewhere else? Like, that's when you're open and honest with the player. Listen, we really just we don't have a spot. This guy's just kind of taking over, and the head coach seems to really want him. And Kirksey would have been like, all right, can you trade me somewhere else, or can you know what I mean? Like something. Mm-hmm. Release me so I can go sign with somebody else. Something. Mm-hmm. Right? But when you retire on a team, that's all right, well, trade me or release me. Well, we don't want to pay what it's going to cost to release you.
Right.
So trade me. We don't think we're going to be able to get what we want for you. All right. I'm going to fix y'all. I'm going to go sit on the couch.
He fixed the red wagon, too.
Right.
He fixed the red wagon. Now, this is I wanted to kind of to look at Kyrie Elam for a second. Mm-hmm. If you look at guys at home, I'm on Pro Football Focus. I'm trying to get a snapshot real fast. But if you look at not this one, this was his junior year, the year before he came out. Did they draft him on his rookie year, his freshman year? Because he had a massive drop-off every year.
Every year.
87.8 grade in 2019, 77.4 grade in 2020, 61.8. He was barely average. The guy you traded up for in the first round was barely average his last campaign before he left early. And you telling me he wasn't a project?
You know what Bean said, right? When they drafted him?
What?
We knew we needed a corner.
Yeah, we knew we needed a corner when Roger McCreary was here. When Kyler Gordon was there.
I wanted McCreary, too.
Yeah, no, I wanted Kyler Gordon.
I wanted him, too. I would have taken him.
I mean, I had Kyler on my board, but I had him in like the second or third round.
Exactly.
And that's where most people had him, second or third round.
Yep.
What were you seeing? What was your intel that said this guy was going to be going? This is like Dalton Kincaid. Mm-hmm. Looking back on this now and how you're going to utilize this person. When I say I'm trading up for somebody, this is supposed to be my new star player. Mm-hmm. Not supposed to be a rookie, a raw piece. Not supposed to be a rotational piece. Not supposed to be somebody I can replace. This is it. I'm betting the farm on this guy. My job depends on this guy I traded all these assets for. I mortgaged my team's future for this guy. Mm-hmm. And you sit him on the bench. And that's okay because nobody cares. Nobody asks you any questions. He didn't earn it. Everybody before told him he was raw. They told you he was raw before. Let's look. Do we look at his scouting report? Did we ever do that?
I don't think we have.
Because once again, and this is just off the cuff. I'm really ranting today. I might be tired. I don't know what it is, but
let it loose, bro.
I'm letting it go.
Let's go.
I'm letting it go, man, because let's see. We looked at Dalton Kincaid's weaknesses for Kyrie Elam. Loses leverage unnecessarily. Allows a little too much clearance early in the routes. Mm-hmm. Needs better open and sprint timing when squatting underneath. Vertical specialist can overtake and stack him. He has a 4.39 40. But vertical specialist can overtake and stack him. So, guys, and I know you.
That's
I know
bad
you like
hips.
I know you like your stats. You like that stuff. But guys, this is the end all be. This tells you the numbers are they're just numbers.
Yep.
Like we talked about when I said I used to bench 225. I did it 30 times. I practiced for it.
Right.
These guys practice for the 40. I don't see anybody running a 40 in shoulder pads, in a helmet. I don't see anybody running a 40. They start a back pedal and turn around and go. That's how they should be doing it in the combine.
Yep.
Not running a straight line. You never run a straight line speed. Never. Let's see what else we got. Too much panicking grabbing his 2021 tape. Can improve his eye balance between the man and the ball. Doesn't play to his size and run support. Inconsistent coming to balance an open field tackler. Strength, first one. Desired size, length, and strength for press man. Press man, not bail. Not bail. But we're going to turn this guy into Levi Wallace.
Yeah.
And we argued about it because you're like, why is Levi? I said, dude, that's what they're asking him to do.
It's true.
And they asking this dude to do the same thing. They asked Dana. But then when Bills fans say, why is he playing 8 yards off his man? Because that's what they want him to do. Mm-hmm. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is what they're asking this man. Now the play that he gave the long ball to what was his name? I forget his name. Yesterday, whoever the guy was that caught the ball over him, he missed the jam. But that's a rookie mistake.
Right.
He gonna go ahead and jot that in his little notebook. Show it to be here. I got it right here. And everything's good. We'll hug it out. We'll be good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get that chance. Before we had Justin Rogers, that man got torched up. Mm-hmm. And I forget what game he got torched time and time and time. It was a Jets game. It was Stephen Hill. Remember that name? Stephen Hill. Exactly. Nobody does. Because why? He only made his name against Justin Rogers. From Georgia Tech, Stephen Hill, a 4.3 40. Mr. Fast Guy didn't do jack squat in the league until he saw Justin Rogers. But he got a chance. Kyrie Elam doesn't want it. He doesn't want it bad enough. He doesn't work hard enough. What is it he has to show? What's left? Either he can play or not. But send him somewhere that can play.
Right.
Because I bet you he gonna go somewhere. He gonna go to the Patriots. He gonna go somewhere else.
Yep.
And he gonna torch you up.
Yep.
Let him go to the Chiefs. Torch you up.
Yep.
And then like, oh man, well, he didn't want it in Buffalo. He hated it here. No, you hated him.
Yep.
You vilified him for no reason.
Which they're doing now because God forbid it be Sean's fault.
Exactly. For no reason. Vilification. I've seen it time and time again.
This is more of an indicator of recency bias with the fans than anything else. And what I mean by that is Sean was here before anybody else. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will tell you that Sean was the reason that 2017 team made the playoffs, right? In reality, it was Andy Dalton that got us to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's just be as clear as we can possibly be.
Yeah,
we did not make the playoffs
on our own merit. No.
On our own merit.
Right.
And the person to blame for that is Sean McDermott. Now, we had a 9-7 record that season. We looked much more disciplined. We had a top-tier defense in the league that was performing like it did. Rex was here for 2 years, 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. So we were performing like we did, 3 years prior. And people take that and they hold on to that for dear life, and they connect that to only the good, right? That's what fans do. I apologize to anyone that I offend with that statement, but that's what fans do. Fans,
and that's what they're supposed to. That's a fan is for fanatic.
Exactly.
That's what it's short for. Fanatic.
Exactly. So fans are there to hug the team when they lose. They're there to give the support to the team, the emotional support, whatever you want to call it.
Go
right?
to the airport when they come back.
From 13 seconds. Exactly right. Exactly right. So it's the fans that are holding on to that recency bias to say, well, Sean is the reason we made the playoffs, and in turn, Sean is also the reason we made the AFC Championship, and in turn, Sean is the reason that we almost beat the Chiefs in 13 seconds, and in turn, Sean is the.
No, you're right. Sean is the reason we almost beat the Chiefs in the 30 seconds. In the 13 seconds, because he's the reason why we lost it.
But they're thinking about it from the perspective of the glorious side of it,
right.
Not the reality of we actually didn't win that game, which you just so eloquently pointed out. But to me, that's more of a problem for the people paying for the tickets than it is Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott he's got his stability. He's got an owner who right now thinks he can't do any wrong. That was the main reason why I kept saying at the beginning of the season, I do not want Sean to have the level of success that he thinks he's having.
Right.
Because it is fool's gold.
Right.
Every single time this team has played a real team, they've buckled.
Mm-hmm. I
just gave you the stats for his record against not elite quarterbacks, but average to pretty good quarterbacks. And it's still under 500.
Yeah.
Still.
And while you were talking, I to make your point, because this is I just was reading something while you were talking. Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So in the overview, the last sentence right here, Elam has early CB3 and eventual CB2 value as a press and zone corner. The last line.
He drafted a CB2 in the first round and
traded up for a CB2. Not a CB2 to Jalen Ramsey. I don't see Jalen Ramsey's name in there.
Oh my God.
I don't see Sauce Gardner's name in there. I don't even see Trey White's name in there. It says, basically this says to me, whoever your one is, he ain't gonna take that spot. Whoever your one is, he ain't never going to send to that. And if he does, you better pray to God that
his NFL comparison.
Somebody don't even know who that is.
At the time when he was scouted, was a corner in the league that had only been in the league for, I think, 2 years.
You know him then, because I have no idea who that is.
Jalen Johnson now plays for the Bears. I think he.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
I think he was drafted by the Bears. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Johnson is not a great corner. He's pretty good, and on a good team, he would be even better. But that's on a good team with probably a top 10 corner on the other side. Now, maybe they thought that's what they would be getting with this kid is a CB2. Maybe that's why they drafted him. But in my mind, I'm not trading up in the draft for a CB2.
No.
I'd rather have 2 1s.
Yeah.
Which is what the Jets got.
They got 3 1s, really.
Exactly. Which, by the way, without all 3 of their top corners, beat the Eagles yesterday.
They were all out?
All of them.
Really?
All 3 of their top corners were out. Still beat the Eagles.
That's crazy.
Still forced 3 turnovers. 2 interceptions. It might have been 2 turnovers, but still.
Regardless, I mean, that's insane that you have that level of depth, that your top 3 guys can sit out and you still be.
Who happen to be 2 of the top 5 corners in the league.
Yep. Which is documented, which we've already gone through. We've been through this.
They're out. Your nickel corner, who's up there in ratings, he's out, and you still find a way to stop that passing offense and to stop that Eagles offense and win that game.
Your man was like, hold my beer. I got it.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Don't change it, coach. I got it. Hold it up.
Listen, that Zach Wilson trade might be one of the best trades I made in fantasy so far. Because if he can continue, and I get it, we're praising him for playing average football.
But that's all you want.
That's all that team needs right now. So listen, he came in and he played the whole game against us, and they won. So don't even talk to me about, we don't have to worry about him. You did in week 1, and you did last year when he played, because he beat you last year by himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're in danger in your own division. Not only are you number 2 in your own division, but you're in danger of being number 3 if you can't get it together in, 3-4 weeks? I think we play the Jets again.
We got to get past the Patriots first.
Like, where's the schedule? We play the Jets.
We got to get past the Patriots first. I mean.
I don't think I'm really worried. If Malik Cunningham plays, I'll be worried.
He's practicing. He's warming up. He might be playing.
I think he needs to. I think that team needs a player like him to bail him out of bad situations. I think Malik Cunningham on that offense can be very good.
Yeah, I just heard when I was picking my son up today, he was talking about how he was throwing the ball, how it looked like they were gearing him up, trying to ramp him up to be a starter.
I'm with it. I got him on my fantasy team already. I was ahead of him.
He's already set.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to go. Let's do it. But
I just can't. I forget what you were looking at. Go ahead.
November 19th for the next Jets game. That's after we play the Patriots, Bucks, Bengals, and Broncos.
Yeah, you see Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball too?
I didn't see him throwing the ball, but I heard. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
40 years old. Go ahead, 40.
Listen,
got something to look forward to.
I don't want to poop on people's parade when it comes to that, but Rodgers is probably the best quarterback of all time in throwing off of either 1 foot or no feet. So, him throwing on the sideline. Okay,
right.
Great. The fact that he's able to walk around in shoes at this point when he was supposed to still be in a boot, testament to his work ethic.
He's just hard-headed, that's all. He's just hard-headed, that's all.
Yeah, right. That's all it is. That's all it is.
That's all that is. But it wasn't him. It was a twin brother.
That would be the greatest thing in sports history.
Hey, Roger, discount double check.
Right. But I am truly I'm interested to see if he is able to come back this season. That'll definitely be more than what the Jets bargained for, and it'll be a huge story. But man, this trajectory that the Bills are on now. Do you actually let's do this with the last?
Well,
what,
you do
15,
before you do
minutes?
that? Before you do that. What do you remember about the Jets game week 8 last year? What do you always say about Kyle Shanahan?
That's the system they run, the offense.
What do you always say about him?
That's what they ran last year.
You say he's what? He scripts, right?
Yeah.
You say that after his script it kind of falls apart, right?
Oh, for Dorsey?
Yeah, for who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Week 8 last year.
You're talking about Mike Shula.
Shula, yeah.
Yeah.
Week 8 last year.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to the Jets. Josh got his arm hit.
Yep.
After a piss-poor second half against the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Do you remember that press conference?
I don't.
The guy asked Josh to his face, after losing to the Jets, this don't look like a Super Bowl offense. And Josh said, okay.
I heard about that today.
Yeah. It really happened. What week are we in now? This is, week 7 coming up?
Yeah.
Just scored 14 points. After scoring a garbage time 20 points, are we having deja vu? Does this not look like after your scripts, after your planned plays, your planned mode of attack, are we going to fall apart again?
I'm fighting not to say this, but I feel like I have to start to. And I know this is going to rub a lot of Bills fans the wrong way. I'm so sorry. But Nick Wright, it's looking like he might be right about the Bills.
What did he say now?
First quarter champions.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are always great in September. These are some of the things that he's been saying about the team.
I saw him say that.
But I think we're pointing it out now, where they get to just under the halfway point of the season, and it starts to look the way that it does after the first 2 or 3 possessions of a football game for the Bills. Their offense gets figured out,
and that's it.
There's nothing else they could do at that point. They don't have any other adjustments that they can put in or any other ways that they can win a football game. That's probably the most frustrating thing about this whole thing, is that for all of the, lauding and applause and boosting that this team gets for how deep they are and how talented they are and blah, 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 they really only win one way. It was the same thing last year. If they couldn't beat you with the D ball, they weren't winning. This year, if they can't run the ball on you and play action, they're not going to beat you. Period.
Yeah.
That is the very definition of arrogance, to think that out of all the self-scouting, out of all of the different things that we look at to make this team better, our answer year after year after year is we pick one way that we're going to win football games. We pick one way that we're going to play defense. One game plan against another team's offense with our defense. One game plan against another team's defense with our offense. And that's it. Mm-hmm. And if it don't work, guess what?
You're screwed.
We make minor adjustments. We might try to play press a little bit more, or we might try to shoot gaps.
Or spend some more money on somebody else and bring them on in. When you could fix what you got at home. You keep going to the mysteries. Guess what? Grass ain't always green on the other side.
But you know how that happens? That happens when you have a head coach that goes into pre-draft meetings with prospects
Elam and Ed Oliver's, yeah.
And he falls in love with the people and not the player.
And that's why I named those two specifically, because those are the ones with the most prominent stories, the pre-draft stories. Josh Allen had the funny one too, where he was telling everybody who was in what room. That's because you don't know who's in the room when you're going in at the combine or whatever you do your interviews. They don't say. You just say, oh, you're one in the room 315 or whatever, and you walk in. Oh, boom, McDermott's there. Boom, Shanahan's there. Whatever. So Josh would come out and be like, yeah, Harbaugh's in 318. And he's like just breaking everything up, just being a wise guy. But I'm sure McDermott didn't like that. But obviously the talent is undeniable. But when we come to Kyer Elam in his notebook, Ed Oliver and Nicole, y'all got jackets, don't y'all? It's bogus.
You fall in love with the people, not the player. The player is what wins you games.
Yeah.
The person, you got to put up with that anyway. Right. And I think that might be more of an indictment on Sean, the person, the man. If you are not comfortable enough as a leader to be able to handle all types of different personalities in a way that a Mike Tomlin would, then you're not the right guy. I'm sorry. Because you built a team full of guys that you either see yourself in or you feel like you can get along with. Mm-hmm. That's really all you've done.
It's time to transition. You got them past the first step. Now it's time to move to the next one.
Exactly. Bottom line. And listen, I'm saying it right now. Pagula, if some way, shape, or form you happen to hear this podcast, or someone happens to hear this podcast, and you hear the name Ben Johnson, I want you to drop to your knees immediately and pray that he says yes when you offer him a head coaching spot here. Because that man is going to be on fire after this season. He is going to be the name at head coach for whatever team fires their head coach next season. I hope it's us.
He said whatever team fires him, he's going to be the guy.
I hope it's us. Even with all the success that we've seen, I really truly believe that all of that success is in spite of Sean McDermott, not because of Sean McDermott. But it happened. It is what it is at this point. And I think we've seen enough. We've seen enough of a sample size to say, while the team has the potential, it has not lived up to that potential. And the person responsible for getting the potential out of a team is the coach. Granado's doing it. Sean McDermott is not. I think that's the bottom line.
Speaking of which, can we go back to something that bothered me too?
We can go to wherever you want, bro. We got 10 minutes.
What was the deal with Spencer Brown yesterday? For you, you're showing the camera too. Look, they see you. But this is my thing. The first play, he's tussling with somebody. They got him by the face mask. And then Deion Dawkins is pummeling somebody. Spencer Brown, I don't even know what he really did. Next thing you know, he's got 3 guys on him in the end zone trying to fight him. What's really good?
You know what I was thinking when I saw him get pushed down twice?
What?
Oh, his back. No. Oh, his back. No.
Everything.
but he has another spasm. It's over.
But this is my thing. What happened to that Kumbaya family? Where was his help?
I mean,
Josh Allen got to come in?
Yeah. That's the only big guy they got that's willing to fight somebody.
Deion Dawkins starts it. He just stands there looking. I'm not even gonna say it. I was almost cursed. He gonna stand there looking just like Deion Dawkins. Where was Mitch Morse, the captain? Where was this guy?
And I don't mean this to connect with your point, but just out of curiosity, where was Diggs in this situation?
I don't know. I don't know where Diggs was, honestly. He was probably somewhere rallying the troops.
Probably, yeah, right. That's it. Yo, Josh, you got to get over there, bro.
He's like, yo, y'all come here. Let's talk. like in college basketball, I get that huddle. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Get Josh out of here so I can rally the rest
I
of the
can
team.
rally the room. You go.
That's right.
But the thing, and that's what McDermott said, too. He said, that was like one of the things he said in his press conference. I actually wrote down, but I really just didn't have it today. He said 17 needs to let others fight the fight for him. We're not going to back down, but he has to be smart. And he also said the offense found a way to win. No, they didn't. The Giants were turds. All right? They were horrible. Like I said, I don't care what I put on our group page yesterday. I was venting, but it never felt like we were going to lose. It never felt like it.
Yeah.
We didn't find it. There was not a battle.
Right.
Well, we ran it for an hour and a half almost about Elam. We ran it about not the offensive line because there's nothing to say. Not the defensive line because we dominated that.
Right.
Terrell Bernard had 13 tackles. Tyron Johnson had 15 tackles. Dwayne Williams had 10 tackles. Guess what? In a standard 4-3, that's what you want. Your second level to get all the tackles. Perfect. Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, slow as usual.
Yeah.
Whatever. It worked.
I think they're both done.
They're pretty much there.
Yeah.
But it worked. But the thing is, they still have enough juice in them to play. I'm sorry, guys. Leslie Frazier would have had them. He would have had them bracketing. They would have been bracketing. They wouldn't have been coming up in the box. They wouldn't have been rushing.
100%. Those deep passes do not happen in Frazier's defense.
Right. And the thing is, when you have Elam, that's kind of what you got. Elam and Benford. Dane Jackson, too. You have to go and, like you said before, adjust. You got to adapt. All this aggressive crap, let's leave a man on an island.
Yeah.
In London, after you poo-pooed the travel plans and traveled 3 days before the game, you're going to put a green rookie that wasn't even dressing on a field against Calvin Ridley and expect him to do what?
Exactly.
Expect him to do what?
You gave Elam no experience at that point leading up to that game, and then he goes out and he's got to cover their number one.
And the thing is, this is my allotment. It's ass backwards. My allotment of cursing for this day.
Sorry, Ken.
The kid's like, ooh, Dad said the curse this time. It wasn't there, it was Dad. But when we just went through the exercise about Elam. Why would you not insulate your draft pick that you screwed up and give him some help so he doesn't like a fool? Because this is a direct reflection on you.
Oh, yeah. But he don't see it that way.
He don't see it. The Bills fans don't see it that way.
Exactly. And that's the problem. Sean, this Bills team is probably more in tune through the PR team of what they can get away with and what they can't get away with the fans. They're probably more in tune with that than most teams. It seems as though this team has perfectly, masterfully marketed themselves and promoted themselves and ingratiated themselves to a fan base that is desperate for a championship.
What I want to know, season ticket holders, if you're still watching, if you're still here, just put in the comment, how many surveys do you guys get? Do you guys get a lot of surveys? Do they ask you questions, emails, flyers? What do they do? Because I know they send you stuff. They don't just send you. I just want to know.
They don't even send it to all season tickets. I had season tickets at one point.
I had it once too, and they didn't send me jack.
Right. They only send it to. I think it's more like long term people. People have been there for a while. Like they and that to me is part of the issue too. Is when those are your focus groups. Is the people that have just been there for years and years and years and have never changed anything.
Right.
You're never gonna get objective feedback. You're always going to get, well, I don't want tailgating to change, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. Nothing new. Just keep everything the same.
to get off my lawn, guy.
Exactly. And that's what we've been stuck with. And I'm actually glad. I don't know if you've seen this commercial that they play with Terry Pegula getting up at the press conference about the new stadium, where he's talking about, I forgot exactly how he said it, but we'll remember the old stuff, and that's fine, but we're moving on with new stuff right now. We're building something new. And I think that needs to be the message that gets passed down throughout the franchise, and really, to be honest, throughout the entirety of the fan base. Because this new stadium coming, they're gonna need to be selling tickets. And if they still got Sean McDermott as head coach of this team after, 2026 will have been 9 years, almost a decade of this almost winning something.
Yep.
I'm sorry. The only excitement you're going to get from people buying tickets is if you fire Sean McDermott before the new stadium opens up.
Look at Doug Peterson. Won
Right.
the Super Bowl next year. Sorry, bro. What have you done for me lately?
Exactly. And that's why I use the example of Philly, because this is, they're at a point now where they lost to the Jets. I bet you they're banging on that team hard, right? You don't hear our media banging on the Bills. You got them, asking some questions that are a little touchy, but they don't want to get blackballed the way the Bills have shown that they can do with media.
I just thought about the question with Ken Dorsey.
That kind of dumb stuff.
Why do you suck? What?
Exactly. What's your name, sir? What does your tag say?
Right.
Give me the tag. You're done. Out of here. Gone. Boom. Gone. Oh man, we got to get you out of here.
No, we gotta finish this up the right way. We gotta finish it up.
Let's do it.
Hey, as long as the expressway ain't backed up, we straight. 70,515 people, 70,515 screaming people at Highmark Stadium,
which all happen to be cheering at weird times.
I
don't know if you noticed that.
I don't remember the sound to it, honestly.
Like the time when it was loudest was like not even third down. Like they were just loud on first down for some reason. Like
they were like coming to America. Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, right. And it was like I remember telling Caitlin, they just drunk. They just drunk. They just there to have a good time.
Yeah,
they're just there to have a good time. They don't feel the cold, and they feeling good. They've been partying all day long leading up to a night game. Did you see on TV they were throwing people in the tables still?
Yeah.
They still doing that stuff. They still trying to choke slam people into plastic tables.
Well, I'll take that if you get rid of, and I don't want to get rid of the man, but I'm tired of the hot dog ketchup. That's so disgusting. The ketchup and mustard guy. But the thing is, this is my point.
I'll take the safety of hot dog guy over somebody possibly breaking their neck over a table.
But see, this is my point. When you think about Buffalo, I don't want to think about somebody being squirted down with ketchup and mustard and frying ribs on their whatever they had going on. I don't care what people think. I don't want that depiction on TV, because that to me does not say we have an upscale theater district.
Exactly.
That doesn't say we have the canal side. That doesn't say that we have pro sports teams in Buffalo. That doesn't say we have arts. It doesn't say we're sophisticated.
Did you know that Amherst, I think Amherst or East Amherst, is number 3 in the country in tops of richest communities?
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, we got money here.
And who knew? Because people were too busy slamming people through and being pissy drunk in the parking lot. I mean, do better. Come on.
Right.
Do better.
Right.
Think about it. If you have kids, do you want your kids to see you like that? If I got to take do you want me to show my son the best version of you as that? You can do things the way you want to do it. But this ain't Buffalo, man.
But here's the reality of that. And I think this is where we have to come together and really try to knock this out of the park and get this home to people who watch the show, people who hear about the show, people who are referring the show to other people. We have to make it clear that the Buffalo Bills franchise is taking advantage of these people.
Oh, absolutely.
They are 100% taking advantage of Bills Mafia, right? Because who better to sell to than a bunch of drunk people who are only there for a good time?
Mm-hmm. And that's in case in point. Why hadn't they moved the stadium downtown? I mean, yeah, traffic, whatever.
But they knew they would not get all the tailgating that they got out there. That's what I'm
getting at. That
they wouldn't be able to do that downtown.
To be so, I mean, if you ever, I have been out of this world drunk before, and when you're out of this world drunk, everybody's out of this world drunk to you. But when everybody's out of this world drunk and you're not, it's a scary place, man.
Yes,
it's a scary place, and putting that stadium downtown would have made it very scary. And people would be like, I don't want to pay for this because I'm not paying for the bills.
Right. I'm not taking my children around this foolishness.
Right.
Like, I want to know how many children were at the game last night. It's supposed to be a place for something like that, especially when the NFL is trying to, get the next generation of people loving the game. Yeah. Like, I can't even take my child to a game. Mm-mm. I got to worry about some drunk spilling his beer on my son's head.
I saw this happen. I saw that happen.
And that's the other thing, too. Like, if somebody spills beer on my kid, what's my natural reaction? Yo, my man, get yourself under control.
I gotta get kicked out. I gotta get kicked out at this point in time.
Right. Even if I'm trying to be rational about it and I'm trying to talk to the guy, he's already irrational. He's drunk. There's nothing I can do at that point. Yeah. So I either gotta punch him in the face or I gotta just leave.
Yeah, I'm not leaving because I just spent all this money for his
ticket. Exactly. So now you're sticking the people who are really there to enjoy the game and not to enjoy the camaraderie of drunkenness.
Right.
It's you guys have to see it for what it is. Like this is a Matrix moment, people. You got to see it for what it is. You got to pass this information on. You got to make it clear. I know it probably stings. It probably don't taste good, but the truth never does. Right? Let's just be like, that's what we're here for. All truth, no sodium.
And sometimes truth hurts.
That's it.
And think about it. They're charging $15 a beer.
Yeah.
People are double fisting beers.
Yep.
Multiple times. You're paying $30.
Spilling half of them by the time you get to your seat.
Yeah, because you're getting bumped, nuzzled. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to my friend I was going to the games with, and I was like, dude, because he doesn't drink. I was like, how much money do you think they're making off beer here? He was like, what do you mean? I said, that's their second trip. 2 beers each. $30. That's $60 right there. Times 70,000 people in here. That's one game. Beer alone, nobody's getting those crusty chicken nuggets. Nobody's going for French fries. Nobody wants popcorn. They go for beer. Mm-hmm. After they didn't drink out in Hammer's Lot. That's why it's called Hammer's Lot, probably, because you're getting hammered.
Yeah, the food there is bad, man, but everything tastes good when you're drunk.
It tastes just right when you're drunk. It tastes just right.
It don't even matter. Is it carby? I need that to dry
up
this alcohol.
I need that, man, because my head is starting to feel a little woozy. I'm losing it. It's getting dark.
That's it.
But no, I mean, like, we love you guys. We honestly do. We honestly do. And this is, like I said, this is a family deal. So I'm not bagging on you. If you want to do that, if that's your bag, just think twice about how much you're going to do. Or maybe stay home. And I mean, I'm glad people aren't driving. That's the one thing. I'm glad people, for the most part, aren't driving. At least they're calling the Ubers or whatever.
Yeah.
But come on.
But that, and you're absolutely right. And thank you for bringing that up because I don't want people to think that we only do this show to bang on people's good time and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of families who have traditions of going and tailgating and hanging out at the game. They might not get blitz drunk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think the point still stands because we care about this team and because we care about the people rooting for this team, because we are part of that group of people rooting for this team.
Absolutely.
We don't want to see us get taken advantage of. Therefore, we don't want to see you get taken advantage of. So us saying this stuff is really to protect all of us and to really hold the team accountable for what's been taking place for the last 20 years, 26 years with Sean McDermott now. And yeah, there's been ups and downs. There's been good times. There's been bad. Even when Brian Fitzpatrick was our quarterback, we went 5-1 or 5-0 or whatever it was. Like there's been great moments throughout this drought, but I don't want to lose sight of the ultimate goal, which is to become the most dominant team in the NFL. Right?
We're right there.
Right, exactly. We're so close, but we're unwilling to exercise the one piece that's holding us back. We're unwilling to chase perfection because we're above average or pretty good.
It's just time. I mean, it's time to lean on McDermott to say, look, you did a good job up to now, but we got to get better. We got to do better. Now, can you do it or can you not? Like he said to me, are you in or you out? Because what's happened is not going to get us to our goal. What is your goal? Right. Is your goal to be good enough every year to playoffs? Because after a while, the fans that are not drinking will be more analytical. Like, you know what? Something don't taste right. We saw this movie already.
Yep.
I saw them 13-3 last year and get it bounced out in the second round. I saw him get bounced out twice in a row in the second round. I don't see him going to the Super Bowl. I don't see him going to the AFC Championship. Something wrong.
Yep.
So we need to have a hard look at how. I mean, then that's where we defer, because I still believe that McDermott could do it, not because of who he is, but I think that if he were to change his mind, if he wanted a job and cut the ego crap out, I think there's something that could be had with the way he preaches, but he needs help. And it's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen with him. It's not going to happen when he's the sole head of the ship.
I think if McDermott loses 3 of the next 4 between the Patriots, Bucks, Bengals, and Broncos, scratch that. I'll say 3. If he loses 3 of the next 6, because I think they could lose to the Bucks. I think now that Burrow is back, that Sunday night game is a loss in Cincinnati. I think this Jets team is probably going to get another win the way that they're playing and the way that Zach Wilson is starting to grow. And I think that Eagles team is going to be another loss, right? At that point, you're talking about, what, we're 4-2 right now, so we're talking about 7-5.
Yeah.
You're 7-5. You already got 5 losses.
And 3 in the division. Yeah.
And Miami is probably going to be 2, maybe 3 games ahead at that point, because they're not going to lose until they play.
And they're
playing the Chiefs this week.
They're scoring points, man. They're scoring points, and that's the thing. It's not even the fact that Miami's good. It's just that we're not scoring now.
Right.
We're depending on our defense again. When we were scoring, we were hard to beat. But when you rely on the defense and try to keep a close game, and you play down to the competition again, I don't know.
I think at that point, the only thing that might save McDermott is if he fires Dorsey and gives the job to Joe Brady, who's actually got some coordinating experience in college. He was the offensive coordinator for LSU.
And I said that, in the preseason shows we did. I said, McDermott's not the scapegoat. It's going to be Dorsey this time.
Yep.
You're going to run out of Indians, man. You're going to run out of them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But
real quick before we go, I had, as we always do, the keys to the game. How do we do? Tyrod's a game manager playing against a game breaker. Tyrod won that battle, so that's a no. And that was actually a quote by Eric Wood, so I didn't make that up. I wish I would have, but it made sense at the time. The Giants don't have the horses to compete, even though Dable knows what we want to do, which I still believe.
Did he know.
Huh?
Said, boy, did he know.
I know. And that shows you they did not have the horses. So I will say that was right, because they should have won that game.
Yeah.
They should have won that game. Missing 2, Basmatic missed 2 field goals and a pass interference in the end zone on untimed. They should have won that game.
And the first half.
Yeah.
The first half debacle by Tyrod Taylor. That should have been at least 3 points.
2 weeks in a row, the Bills didn't score in the first 3 quarters. Let's see. Their defense is not complete enough to compete with the Bills' offense. Okay. While that might be true, they didn't show it yesterday. The Giants are second in blitz percentage and 4th from the bottom in pressures. So you got to lure them in and utilize the screen game. James Cook should be a good play tonight. They didn't even start him. But
this is the other thing that gives me. Like, they made Murray the starter because he's better as a pass blocker.
You're right.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you even care? Why do you even care about that?
It made sense in their head.
If you know they're blitzing, attack the blitz. How hard is that to do?
Yeah.
They don't run screens. They barely run wide receiver screens. This has not been a screen team, right? What did the Giants do against us? They ran a screen. Right? What did the Jaguars do against us? They ran a screen.
Yep.
You want to slow down a team that's being overly aggressive and trying to attack you on all in all areas? Make them overrun themselves.
Yep. And not with that little silly run that you like so much.
Oh my God.
Let's see. The Giants are starting a first-round rookie and a sixth-round rookie. Davis and Diggs as captains have to make them pay. Well, Diggs did. Nobody else did. 26% target rate. That tells you all you need to know. Yeah. I'm not subscribing to Dable, knows the offense left and right. He made the offense, but he doesn't have the horses to break it. We broke our own offense. Defensively, Evan Neal is a lamb led to slaughter. Expect Von Miller to get his first sack tonight. What was I wrong about that? And let me rush through this because I want to go back to there and then we're going to close out. But Epinesa to have another big game. He had a good play. He got around the corner on Pugh, got to the quarterback. Kyrie Elam should go through his growing pains. We'll see him go from a boy to a man. They didn't give him a chance. The middle of the field will be locked up. Expect Tyrod to either check down or scramble. Prediction, 38-14. Well, somebody scored 14. And about Von Miller, I mean, he looked so much like me when I came back from my knee injury. It was like the thing was, it was like, yo, I don't want to get hit. So there was one opportunity where he got around and pursued a run, but he got nudged by the offense and like he just lifted his leg up and fell down. Then there was other rushes where he just kind of faked the rush and went straight up the field and never made an honest play towards the quarterback.
Yep.
He played 27 snaps, so they're ramping him up. And this goes back to me saying before, you can't. It's too fast. If you pup him, he shouldn't be out there yet. You got to get used to getting hitting because his body's showing. He's showing you. Watch the All-22 tomorrow. He's showing you. He's not ready for contact. His mental was not ready for the contacts yet. He's got to get nudged around. He's got to get jostled. And with that being said, take it away, my man.
All right, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been our live show, our live rendition of the Post Podium podcast. Listen, like, subscribe. We hope that you appreciate the honesty. That's what we're here for. We're here to really get to the bottom of things, figure it out, and bring it to you. And I mean, we draw our conclusions. You can draw your own.
Let's talk about it.
Exactly. Communicate. Let's exchange some words. Let's figure out why you stand where you stand. I am going to spend the rest of the week figuring out how to get some live chat going on during the show, and then we'll try and get that set up so that we can have people messaging into the show and giving us their ideas, opinions, thoughts, questions, stuff like that, and we'll try to really create some live dialogue with that and see where that goes. That should be interesting. So I'll give you guys an update on that on Thursday. And the other thing too is we want you if let's do this. If you've already subscribed, we can't see who subscribes, who didn't. Just leave a comment if you're really with us, if you're rocking with us like that, you enjoy the show. Just leave a comment wherever you can. Hey, I'm subscribed, blah blah blah. Give us an opportunity to really communicate with you and just connect with you on that level to get your questions, your thoughts, what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show. All that kind of stuff matters to us. So please, if you could do that would be great. With that being said, man, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, the live episode, post game, every Monday. Find us at 5:30. We usually go until about this time, about 7:30. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
This is Key.
And we are out.